It was a sign of the legal heat, but then, and in the months after, no one knew what that would lead to, let alone whether he would be named a co-conspirator by the very Justice Department that he used to work at as a senior official. As we look at all this in our special report, we have a special expert. David Kelley is the former SDNY chief, and I should mention my former boss. Welcome back.
Thank you.
A lot of us talk about this stuff. You've run these kind of cases. Sometimes you indict all at once, and then you try, and then you close the case. Other times, you might indict later. Walk us through, having looked at these cases, what you think Jack Smith might be up to with 6 unindicted.
A lot of it's a guessing game, but I'll tell you a couple of things. One, it's clear that he wanted to indict Trump standing alone. I think it makes it more expeditious. And at the same time, by naming these co-conspirators, what he's done is he's created an evidentiary gateway for himself by spelling out what the co-conspirators said. And co-conspirators' statements are not hearsay, so they can be used in furtherance to help improve his case without having these folks even in the courtroom.
Let's slow you down. You're making a point that's relevant in court, in a trial, not any other time, because here in the news we cover all the statements. But you're reminding everyone that if it was just a random person who talked to Trump, it would actually be harder to bring in what they allegedly said.
Correct. And there's another gateway here, too, and that is that this gives them kind of permission, if you will, a gateway, again, to continue the investigation. 3, I think what it helps do is leverage some pressure on these co-conspirators to see if they'll flip, and maybe one or more have already. We don't know.
So my other question for you, you might not like, because I know you try to stay precise, and you know a lot of people at DOJ, and you represented James Comey, but I want you to answer. Who's the most likely of the 6, if you were building a case? If they're not going to do all 6 for whatever reason, who's the most likely to charge?
I would say Giuliani and Eastman.
Eastman here, we've got him at the middle there because he was searched. Why Eastman?
Look, basically what he did was he was orchestrating this whole operation, which he knew was a butchered legal theory that was being used to give a veil of legitimacy to a plot to engage in the crimes that Jack Smith is charged, namely to the scheme to deprive people of having their votes counted. They knew that while there was disputes in different states, but none of them were being upheld. They were told that there was no fraud, but they said, let's just try to create this scheme. We'll throw a veil of legal legitimacy on it. And that legal legitimacy, as you can hear from Professor Tribe, who's responded to the whole memo, which is a complete butcher job and mismatch of a bunch of legal stuff that at the end of the day was being used to orchestrate this fraud.